says it's live. But are we really live? That's the question. Hopefully we're live. Oh, hey, I can see me. Okay. I gotta test to make sure that audio works. Let me mute this. Push this button. Aha! Oh my gosh. Live streaming, not easy. I don't know how people do it. But, alright, that's cool. Turn this thing off. Make sure I've got all my chat windows open and everything. Okay. I think we're good to go. Whew, okay, so first and foremost, I feel like crap. I have been working on finals for school all week. I'm about halfway finished with my MBA, and the end of the semester here is in a few weeks, and so I've been trying to catch up because I've been busy working on client stuff, and then I had more client stuff to do, and it's just been insane. So I think I'm actually going to push a little bit more of the school stuff off until next week. I should move this thing a little bit closer so you guys can hear me better. So it's just been crazy. And now I'm not feeling good, and it's cold outside, it's snowing, and I just want to curl back up in bed. And so I started recording this video because usually I work on videos for like 2 or 3 days before they actually go up, even though you can't tell it because the quality's crap. But I just didn't have any desire at all to edit those things. So I had like 4 or 5 different takes, and it was like 2 hours worth of videos, and I was like, this is too much. So we're going to do a live stream instead. Also, another thing I've been working on, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. This is something I've been working on with a company called Thinkific, and these guys have a really, really cool tool. It's for building online courses, and so I have been working on this thing for the proximity marketing course, and I've got the first module just about finished. Where's the curriculum? So this is going to be the free section, so it talks about like what a beacon is, different kinds of beacons. I need to go through and record these videos too, different beacon platforms, still adding notes to this, and then just some other cool beacon resources I need to go and add. And then I'm going to be doing some extra videos on like, you know, how we're setting up for our restaurants and stuff, how we're doing our zoos, how we're doing like the big old multilingual tourism stuff, and our smart city projects, and all that's going to be going in here. So really excited about this. It's just so much work, but goodness, just wanted to show that off just because I'm excited about it, and I'm actually going to be doing a webinar with these guys here in a little bit, I hope. So anyways, what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that we saw on Shark Tank last night, and it is an app called Bravo. And basically what the app does is that it makes it so that way you can tip like your waiter, your waitress. You can tip like musicians, or what's the name of those guys who park your cars for you? Valets. You can kind of just tip these people more easily from your cell phone. Now, they didn't specifically say they were using beacons for it. They said they're using proximity. So that can be just like, you know, where you are on a Google map. It could be geofencing. It could be a beacon. We're not really sure. It didn't sound like they were doing beacons because they weren't charging enough. But that's a totally different subject for a different day. But we're looking at it, and we saw this on TV, and thought, you know, I bet we could do that with a beacon, or with NFC. We're actually going to do it with NFC here in a minute. But like, you know, I bet that would work. And so I went and I grabbed an NFC tag, and we tested it. This one right here. Oh, actually, my thing got a lot of delay, so I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm saying. This one right here, and it worked. And it took like 5 minutes to set up. And so we figured, you know, this might be an interesting video to talk to you guys about. Now, there are 3 things you're going to need. Oh, I guess 4 things if you include the client. First thing you're going to need is the beacon, or the NFC tag itself, if you decide to go with the NFC tags. Now, I actually have an article where I wrote out how we would do, what's it called? Smart business cards. And it kind of talks about the different types of cards that are out there and what you should be looking for. So there's a link to this in the description if you guys want to check this out. This is our website, our new proximity website, proximity.fun. And it kind of goes over the entire process and like the tools that we use and everything. It's pretty cool. So first thing you're going to need are the cards. And we're going to talk about the cards a little bit more here in just a minute, because there are a couple little things that really they're the complicated part of all this, just because you need to get the cards printed and programmed and shipped and everything else. And it's not that it's super complicated, it just gets more expensive when you only need like 5 or 10 cards as compared to the minimum order, which is 100. So we'll get back to that. The next thing you're going to need is a paypal.me page. So this is paypal.me, and it's just an extension of paypal.com. And what this does, I think the easiest way to explain it is that it is a I had a really good explanation for it. My brain's not turned on. You can think of it as like a free-form invoice. All right. So if you are, providing a service to somebody and they want to pay you for that service, and they want to pay you through PayPal, and you don't have a card reader, you don't want to send out an invoice through the mail or anything, you can grab your paypal.me link and you can give that to them, and then they can make that payment to you. And that platform looks like this. So you just click the button, or you go to the link, and then you can enter the amount that you actually want to pay the person. So we're going to change that to $1. You hit next, it takes you to your login, and that's how you can actually process these payments. Really fast, really easy. So what you need next is a way to put this on the NFC tag. And for that, we use an app called Nfc Tools Pro, which is $3.50 on Android, and that's for the paid version, and it's really, really good. We like it a lot. Let me go back to the read page. It looks a little bit like this, and I realize you guys can't see that super well. There's not really a lot to see. There's just a little bit of a glare. But very, very simple interface. I actually went and I recorded it. So let me show you guys that, and let me turn this part up so you can actually hear it. This is going to be fun. It's like watching a movie together. Okay, so what you guys are seeing on screen is my Nfc Reader Writer App. I really like it quite a bit. It's only $3.50 if you guys want to check it out. It's cool. I like it. So what we'd want to do here is first we want to write. So we're going to click on the write button, add a record, URL/URI. We're going to type in this thing up here, paypal.me/Utah SEO Ninja. Now you can leave it like that, and it will take people back to the blank page, so that way they can tip whatever amount they want. Now, if you're gonna be doing this for a set fee, like a set, a set amount, then you would just do / and then whatever that amount is. So this is gonna create for 100. Okay, I'm gonna hit OK. This thing back down here. Tap where it says write. Then we're gonna take our NFC tag. We got our phone, and we're just going to like that. Oh, let's try that again. Because I swiped it down, usually it's best to just kind of leave it there. So, we just wrote to the card, right? Going to close out of this. We're going to test it. So again, phone, tag. It opens up, and it takes people straight to our brand new $100 payment receipt option. Okay, we were like watching a movie. It felt we needed popcorn. Do you need the phone? Okay. Wife's in here looking at me like I'm crazy. So, programming the cards, is, like I said, is really, really simple, especially using an app like this. All you need is this link, and then you just copy and paste that into the app, and then you tap your card, the card that you want to program, onto the phone. It detects it, reads everything. It takes just a second. Really cool. So the next thing you need is just a customer. You need somebody to actually buy the card from you. So I was looking through last night and a little bit this morning of what kind of businesses actually really benefit from tips, because that's kind of what they were going for, is using it as a way to receive tips. And there's a few different options. In fact, there's a couple websites. Did I put links to this? I didn't. I'll put these in the chat. That one goes over here, and then this one goes over here. And apparently finding ways to make more money through tips is kind of a big deal. So bartenders, 55% of their income actually comes from tips. And so if you were to have something like this on the bar counter, as a way to tip the bartender, all you got to do, beep, and you can send those tips over to them using your NFC, PayPal, or whatever. there are a few different options here. And so this actually gives you a breakdown of about how much each industry makes from tips as far as their hourly rate. The one of them that was a little wrong to me was this one right here. It said waiters and waitresses. So the medium hourly tips is $7. Should make about $7 per hour in tips. And it said the typical hourly income is $11.20. Oh, that's the total. Okay, maybe the numbers aren't as wrong as I thought. But anyways, it's it's a way to make some more money. So I thought I'd share those with you guys real quick. So like I said, I think that's one way to go as far as collecting tips. But another thing that I think would be really effective and useful and worth exploring is if you guys have any other customers who have like really small businesses, not necessarily something that would benefit from the full Beacon platform, maybe just something a little bit simpler. Or of course this can be built into your beacons as well. I mean, that's totally an option. Before I get into that though, if you do want to set this up on a beacon instead of doing it with NFC, the exact same process, except that you take that URL, you put it in your beacon right here, and then you have that broadcast, have it broadcast that URL instead of broadcasting anything else. Or you could also leave it as a link on the page that you're going to be broadcasting. So I mean, it's entirely up to you, and that's just another way to do it. If you have a beacon that can send out multiple packets, then you can also do multiple URLs or multiple PayPal.me's for individuals within that location that can take and who would receive those tips. So if you do have a restaurant and they have 5 waitresses or 5 waiters, then you just get a beacon that can handle that. And this one right here. And there are beacons that can send out that many signals, which we can see right over here. So the estimate location beacon can do that. It looks like the Feezy beacon, that one's new. The Feezy beacon can do it too. So that will give you up to 10. So you get a few different options over here as far as actually doing that if you do want to go the beacon route, which is totally doable. What was I going to say next? Oh, so like I said, that's what you want to do if you wanted to go with tips or things like that. But if you wanted to use it as a payment processor, so for example, we have one client who I've mentioned a few times here on the channel. He has a car detailing company, right? He offers 3 packages. Package number 1 is $50, package number 2 is $75, package number 3 is $150. And right now he's just accepting cash. Like, he doesn't have a card reader, he doesn't have, any of those other little gizmos or gadgets. So what we can do for him is we can take this card and we can give him 3 cards, right? Sell him 3 cards. One would be the $50 plan or a package, one's the $75, and one's the $150. And then whenever a client purchases one of those things, all he has to do is he gives them this card, says, all right, tap this on your phone and you can make your payment. And then go beep, they're taken straight over here to his paypal.me. And he can take that payment immediately. He gets a notification on his phone immediately. And then he's able to go through and provide that service. Or, you can pay for it afterwards or whatever. So I thought he would be a perfect example of something like this. I have another guy that I work with who works in a lot of conventions. They sell like plushies and things like that. And that could be another option if somebody wanted to make that purchase with a debit card or with their PayPal account, then they can do that straight from this. All we would do in that case is instead of is we'd send them to a PayPal Me account, say their bill is $7, they just tap that in, hit next, log in, make the payment, and it's done. Now if you do have a set fee, so like we're talking about with my car detailer, say we wanted to only have the $150 thing in there, right? So what you do is with the URL, so it's paypal.me/utayasconinja/150. You hit enter, and then this will take you to the exact same thing, but it pre-populates the amount that the invoice should be for. So in this case, we're going to be automatically charging people $150 for this particular service. We can this wasn't an option before, but I guess they just recently added it. You can actually increase this amount. So if you want to give them a $25 tip, then you can. I believe you can actually lower it as well, but like I said, this is still relatively new. This wasn't an option before, at least not that I was aware of. So again, very easy way to set this thing up, and then you can take this and give it to your customers. Now, the complicated part behind all this is that the the process itself is pretty simple and straightforward. Program the tag, put in the URL, you're good to go. The complicated part is the card itself. It's the tag. So the tags that I have are like this. They're all blank. I gotta turn on my screen so I can actually see what's going on over here. They're blank. Oops. You can write on them with a permanent marker, but that's not exactly the most professional thing on the planet. You can, however, and let me show you guys these. These are for a client that we've been working with. Get really, really nice looking printed tags. So these are really cool. I really like these. The problem is that these things are $1.50 a pop, and that's a little bit of money. Now, that's not actually the worst part. The worst part is that if you wanted to order these, you can't order just 5 or 6. You have to make a minimum order of 100 cards. So you're going to be spending at least $150 in order to get access to these cards. So that's just to get it printed. Now, if you want a serial number on the back, like what we've done right here, you can see I've got card number 0001 because I'm number 1. We have 1,000 of these things. So if you wanted to get anything custom printed on there, like serial numbers and things like that, so you can manage it, we actually manage them the exact same way as we do our beacons. We have it set up on a on just a 301 redirect on a website. We're actually using TinyCC for this right now, which is a lot faster and easier to manage. We set up on TinyCC, and that way whenever we need to change that URL, all we have to do is we change it on TinyCC's data or dashboard instead of having to interact with the beacon again, or the tags or the beacons. So for example, if my client says, hey, we're changing the price of this from 150 to 155, I just go into TinyCC, update the URL, and push enter, and then his tag is automatically going to update. Where was I going with this? Oh, and so that's the reason we have the serial numbers on the back, is that we can actually keep track of the individual tags and update them as needed. So we do think that's a very valuable thing to have, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of these things. So so in order to print the serial number on the back, then it's an extra 4 cents per tag. I'm trying to think what else. So it's going to be $1.54 to $1.58 to get the cards printed. It's a little bit extra if you decide to print on both sides. So figure $1.58 for the card itself. Shipping the cards, if you're going to be mailing them out individually, it's 72 cents a piece, which turned out to be really expensive. If you guys read my article over here on the DIY smart cards, we actually kind of go into that, talking about that particular this project exactly. Just kind of talking about the way that all that works, and some of the trials and the roadblocks that we ran into as we were actually trying to price everything out and get fulfill the project. So just between getting the cards printed and mailed to you, and then you mailing them out to your customers, you're looking at about $225 to $250 per card. And like I said, the other problem with that is that you then have to program the card, then you have to program the card, and you also have to order at least 100 of them at a time, which obviously is going to get kind of expensive. You're going to be looking at probably about $3 for every card that you would be getting this way. And so if you want to do this, then it's going to cost you $300 no matter how many cards, as long as it's less than 100 you want. So what we're thinking about, what we wanted to propose to you guys, is if you guys do think this is interesting, if you think this is something valuable, something you'd be interested in for yourself or for your clients, we actually want to do a group buy. So what we do is, I have my designer, I'd have her actually make the cards, design everything, make everything look nice and pretty, say, hey, tap here to, we'd either be doing it to do tips or to just leave it as a payment processor. We might be able to find some sort of a, what's the word? My brain's turning off, guys, I'm sorry. Some sort of like a generic term or something we can put on there, or maybe just like a design or something that kind of communicates what people are supposed to do with it, some instructions on the back. And then what we'll do is we'll design it, we'll order them, we'll get them shipped out here. You guys send me the URLs that you want on them, we'll program them for you, and then we'll mail them out to you. And then all you have to do is take them and give them to your customers, sell them to your customers. Now to do that, we're thinking $5 a card, which gives us a little bit of a margin. we realize when working with these things, we need to add something that we call the oh crap margin, okay? And basically that's when the mailbox decides they're going to charge you an extra 20 cents per card or per letter to send out, which happened to us. Then we need to have that fixed, or we need to have some sort of a buffer there in order to cover that. Or if it just happens to be Chinese New Year this week and it's going to last for the next 4 or 5 weeks and nobody out in China, which is where the cards come from, is going to be working, we kind of need to find some other ways to source the cards as well. So again, that kind of all falls under the oh crap margin. So like I said, we're looking at about $5 a card, and again, if you're going to be purchasing 10 of these things, it's better to spend $50 than to spend $300. So that's kind of what we're looking at. In order to do this, if we did want to move forward with it, then we need to have a minimum of about 40 cards ordered, just so that we can at least cover our expenses, and hopefully we don't have to worry about anything in the old crap factor, just so that we don't end up losing any money off of it. And then I don't know what we do with the other cards. We keep trying to sell them or something. But that's the idea. And so like I said, if that is something you guys are interested in, my email is in the description of this video. Just shoot me an email, let me know how many cards you'd be interested in purchasing. If you do plan on purchasing a lot of cards, then we just want to make sure we don't lose any money doing this, and so we can do discounts and stuff like that. But like I said, it's just something that we wanted to let you guys know about and see if it was something you'd be interested in. But yeah, this thing's really already 20 minutes. Well, the other videos were like 3 hours long, like trying to record everything and coughing and everything else. But so yeah, that's how the process works. That's how the cards work. That's who we'd be selling them to. That's how much money we think we can make. We'd probably be selling these things for somewhere between 10 and $20 a pop. So there's definitely still a good margin to be made on those, even at $5 a piece. And it's pretty cool. Now, of course, you can go out and do all this yourself. You can program yourself. You can order them yourself. That's totally viable. We're getting these things off of a site called Go2Tags. We kind of like them. They're the ones who gave it, or who we bought these this last big order from. So we got 1,000 of those things, and we're looking at getting quite a few more for this particular client. So it's pretty neat, and we like them. But so yeah, if you guys do have any other questions, or if there's anything else you'd like to see in relation to this, then go ahead and stick that in el chato. That's not actually the word for that in Spanish. Put them in the chat, and then I will take a look. There is about a 20-30 second delay, so it might take a second for me to pull that up. And while we do that, I'm going to show you guys the website. So this is proximity.fun if you guys haven't had a chance to look at it already. We are actively adding new content to this all the time. So like here are the newsletters. So I've got to work on the newsletter for tomorrow. It's going to go right here. We have all the newsletters as far as everything that's been going on in Bluetooth beacons, proximity marketing, and IoT, which IoT is the Internet of Things. It's kind of the idea or the concept that beacons and NFC and all these other things are based off of. And so this goes back to the beginning of September. So we've been doing this for a while now. What is it going on? 5 months? Wow. Each of these things is huge. So usually the beacon proximity news has about 4 pages worth of articles. So it's like this. The smart city is one that we just recently started doing. I think we have only 2 weeks worth of this, and this one's 17 pages long. And then IoT news, which is one of my favorites, this is why I keep including it even though nobody actually reads it. I can see when you people click on these things, by the way. This one has, 22 pages? Usually these things are between 20 and 27 pages long, so all kinds of crazy stuff in here. So if you're just curious what the entire market looks like, then this is definitely a place to go and catch up on that. And like I said, I'd suggest that you guys at least go through and you read through, the name of the article and then like the quick little snippet just to kind of get an idea of what's going on, because it's usually better to be aware of these things than not be aware of them. So that way we can kind of keep track of what's going on. So that's why we put these things together. It was a valuable resource for us, and we figured it would be for you guys too. So that's the news. We started working on service providers over here. Still working on this. I need to add a lot more of these things. But like email marketing, so I need to include MailChimp and MailerLite. Not MailerLite, MailerLite. which is my personal favorite. Those are all going to go right over here. Any coupons we can find is going to be included in this, like the Market Hero one. Just has a quick snippet from their website explaining what they do. It's a really, really cool email marketing tool, and this takes you over to the website. This one, I think that's just an affiliate link, so I need to update that one too. Close all these things real quick. What else do we have over here? We started working on the beacons in the NFC. These are going to be a place for all the different service providers, like all the different beacon management platforms, all the different beacon manufacturers, all the different kinds of NFC tags, and different things you can do with them. Those are going to go right over here. And then training section is also kind of empty right now, but this is where we're going to put like different tutorials, videos like this, so that way you guys can, you know, take this information, apply it to your business, and actually make some money off of it. So that's that. You got articles. I try to write at least one article a week on here, and those go up every Thursday, so that's going to be going up today. And then I've got a whole bunch of articles up here that I need to write. It's like how exactly Bluetooth beacons work, what is proximity marketing, the question that I've been getting a lot, like just over this last week, like 10 people have asked me the same question, which is why I don't use any beacon management platforms. Anyways, stuff like that. So again, if it's something you guys are interested in, that all does come over here. And then I also try to upload these same videos and live streams to this as well, so that way it's just kind of a spot where you can go and get all this information all at once. Trying to get some other people to also write some additional articles and share some other information, because I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't know why people ask me questions like I know everything. I'm just a guy over here playing with beacons in my, I was going to say my basement, but I don't live in a basement, in my little office, you know, while hopped up on, what is this, Rockstar Energy, punched. Otherwise I'd be asleep. But yeah, so like I said, that's what we're working on. If you guys do want to check this out, you are more than welcome to. We do have a membership thing in here. It doesn't do anything yet, but eventually it will, so you guys can go and sign up for that too. But I don't see any other questions coming in, so I guess I did an amazing job explaining all of this and just able to download information straight into your brains. So I guess I'll go ahead and shut this thing off. Hope you guys all have an excellent day, and we will be back tomorrow with the news roundup. That's where we're going to be talking about all the different things going on in the beacon proximity world, and go on from there. So hope you guys have a great day, and trying to think what else I should say. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And then also the reason that we always ask that you like the video is not just so we can, like, oh, look how many likes I got. It actually helps improve our rankings and our reach, because YouTube, the YouTube robots look at that, they see the engagement, say, hey, people are actually liking this video, they're sharing the video, they're commenting on the video, it must be good quality content, we're going to share this with more people. So it actually helps us grow quite a bit, and that's one of the reasons that we always ask for that. So alright, I'm done talking. I'm going to go lay down, I think. How do I turn this thing off? Over here. Yeah, okay, bye.